It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by AgileDad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right. So I had someone talk to me about maximizing teamwork efficiency. And if we could talk about some of the agile strategies needed in order to help promote better teamwork. So I sat and thought about it for a little bit. And the first thought that came to my mind is that communication is always the hub of everything. So, the first thing that I would say to promote better teamwork and to get better efficiency is agile teams need to really learn how to communicate constantly while minimizing separation or blockers in their communication, eliminating duplicity, and having the right balance of conversation. You don't want a team just having conversation or meetings for the sake of having them, but you do want to make sure that the team has a pure understanding of what they need to be doing. So, if you think about for example, if a team builds a product or service, they should probably be a frontline support for that product or service, at least until a time you could have a different group take off that, with that support. And it may not be something that naturally happens or that happens right away. It might take time for the transition to come. So, team members need to be more focused on managing how they communicate and when they communicate, and need a scrum master to help them make certain that they are within the boundaries necessary in order to be successful. One of the biggest complaints that I get in organizations is too many meetings, but yet one of the biggest pitfalls is not enough communication. So, we need to figure out how to better communicate without constantly having to be involved in a meeting. It's quite the conundrum, right? It's almost like the chicken and the egg thing. But the truth is, if team members can manage their workload better and take on the responsibilities and accountabilities necessary for them to get everyone involved and build a kick butt product or service, right? Then you have a thing where people are trading in their old school positional power for a reputation of getting things done. And I think that this is what's going to help the team best understand that achieving their goals is way more valuable, and being efficient in achieving their goals is way more valuable than just doing work for the sake of doing it, right? They're going to be happier. There's going to be improved team morale. And I think that if you centralize focus on clear communications and make sure you're including things like the project goal, the sprint goal, you want to make sure that you even have a daily goal if necessary to make sure the team can remain healthy and focused and get away from all the bureaucracy, with all the layers of complexity and the formal process and the process governance board. You want to make sure leaders and team understand that the work is flexible. It's not set in stone, but at the same time, we need to be vigilant about working on the things that are the most urgent, that are the most important, and that have higher weight. And that's the whole purpose of the backlog, right? It gives us a clear path to have freedom and to work autonomously as long as we're working on the next most important things. So as long as we're staying in line with our North Star, our goal is clear, and we're building increments that matter, evaluating your strategy is the key to success. Asking questions. What is our current strategy? What factors determine success or failure? How are we going to work smarter and not harder to get these things done? Those are all questions that should be coming up quite regularly. But I think the big key is to make sure everyone understands what their accountabilities are. That instead of product owners focusing on who's working on their item, they should have a renewed focus on is the backlog built in such a way that it's easily consumable by the team members, and what can I do to make it better if it's not? The Scrum Master needs to have a renewed focus on, am I doing things to remove big boulders in the road so that the team can easily sweep off the small rocks and make a clear path from A to Z? The team needs to say, am I doing all I can to attack the items in the proper order so that we're building increments that make sense and align with statements of value? I guess the key here is the big focus should be on outcome and not output. If we can get people to really focus on the outcome that maximizes the happiest return with as little output as possible, that's really the key to maximizing your teamwork's efficiency. That's going to do it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, feel free to reach out to us. Learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.